Make her insecurity your secret weapon to make her addicted to you. Not through deception, not through power games, but through precision, understanding, and psychological depth. This is the level where real attraction happens, not the surface stuff. Because here's the real secret. Women don't bond through compliments. They bond through validated insecurity. That one insight, it separates boys who chase from men who attract. Most guys rely on praise because they think it creates affection. You're so pretty. You're amazing. I can't believe you're single. She's heard it before. It has no weight anymore. In fact, it triggers skepticism. Social psychology has a name for this: praise inflation. The more someone hears generic compliments, the less meaningful they become. This happens in job interviews, classrooms, and dating. When you give unearned praise, you're telling her, I don't really know you, but I want something from you. It's hollow, predictable, replaceable. But when you validate a flaw, something she's ashamed of, now you're touching the part of her no one else sees. And that changes everything. Here's where it gets interesting. Evolutionary psychology tells us that women have developed finely tuned emotional radar over centuries, because reading emotional nuance meant survival for them and their children. So what does that mean for you? It means she doesn't care about the compliments you say. She tracks the emotional precision behind them. She doesn't want praise. She wants to be understood. You'll find her deepest wounds not in her stories, but in her jokes, in her sarcasm. In the moment she rolls her eyes and says, I'm just crazy sometimes. That's not humor. That's self-defense. That's the emotional version of checking if you'll still be there after she exposes her cracks. Most men laugh it off. Smart men lean in. Let's define the term. Validated insecurity is when someone shows you their flaw, and instead of fixing it or denying it, you recognize it and reflect it back as a reason they're valuable. This flips her emotional script, because most of her life, that wound made her feel less than. She says, I'd always get too attached. You say, that just means you care deeply. That's rare now. She says, I have baggage. You say, that means you've lived. The ones with no past usually have no depth. Here's the psychology. Cognitive reframing. When you help her reinterpret her pain through a different lens, she doesn't just change her view of you. She starts changing how she views herself, and the brain rewards that emotionally. With dopamine, with oxytocin, with the chemical cocktail of attachment. Let's be real. Women aren't addicted to people. They're addicted to emotional experiences that elevate them beyond their inner critic. That critic lives in every woman's head, telling her she's too loud, too dramatic, too broken. Most men ignore it. You hear it, and you tell her, that's what I like about you. Why is this so addictive? Because you become the only space where she doesn't have to hide. And if neuroscience has taught us anything, it's this. The brain doesn't crave pleasure. It craves relief. Relief from anxiety. Relief from rejection. Relief from not being enough. You become the emotional escape. And that's the beginning of obsession. Want to know how to test this in real time? Watch how she reacts during the movie. Not to you, to emotion. When a character cries, does she look away? Does she apologize for tearing up? Does she say, sorry, I cry over dumb stuff? That's not random. That's conditioning. She's learned to hide her emotional depth because most people label it as weakness. Here's your moment. Don't correct her. Don't dismiss it. Just say, it shows you feel deeply. Most people are dead inside. That one line, it doesn't just land, It echoes. Because you've shown her something revolutionary. Her softness isn't embarrassing. It's sacred. Let's zoom out. Society conditions women to compete with each other by pretending perfection. Instagram smiles, filters, one-dimensional confidence. But underneath that, there's fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of not being enough. Fear that once someone sees the real her, they'll walk away. Now imagine you're the one who goes the other direction, not praising the fake, but admiring the raw. That's social dissonance. That's you interrupting the narrative and becoming the one person whose words actually cut through the noise. And when that happens, something dangerous occurs. She starts comparing how she feels around everyone else to how she feels around you. That's the beginning of emotional dependence. Not because you asked for it, because you earned it. Let's address the fear. Isn't this manipulative? No. It's manipulative if you lie. It's powerful if you understand. You're not weaponizing her insecurity. You're transmuting it into strength. That's called emotional alchemy. And it's what separates emotionally intelligent men from emotionally needy ones. Neediness says, "Please like me." Power says, "I see you, even where you don't." That's what makes a woman fall. Not for your looks, not your car, not your status, but for your emotional vision. Let's bring it home. Don't compliment what's obvious. Validate what she hides. Find the flaw and flip it. And in a world where most men are chasing what's easy, you'll become unforgettable because you dared to understand what's difficult. In the end, it's not about making her addicted to you. It's about making her addicted to the version of herself that only exists when she's with you. She won't remember what you said. She'll remember how she felt. And she'll chase that feeling back to you. Let everyone else chase validation through effort. You don't chase. You observe. You listen. You respond to what's real, not what's rehearsed. That's why she opens up around you. That's why she thinks about you in silence. Not because you were perfect, but because you made her feel seen, where others only looked. That's not attraction. That's imprinting. In psychology, it's called the emotional imprint effect. People bond most deeply not with those who entertained them, but with those who unlocked a part of them they thought no one could reach. You become unforgettable not by showing off, but by becoming the mirror that reflects her hidden truth. So if you want to keep playing on the surface, keep complimenting smiles, bodies, and filters. But if you want to pull her soul closer than her skin ever will, start where she hides. Start where it hurts.